This morning, as I was doing my hair, the song Once Upon a Time, Not Long Ago, I Was a Hoe was on my mind. And it was on my mind for a few different reasons. One, I think the song's a little bit entertaining. It's kind of catchy, fun to listen to. And two, I feel like I can relate to at least the idea of having been a hoe, because not necessarily in the sense of taking people's money, but more in the sense of sexual exploration and learning what would I like and what would I not like. And I feel like in this day and age, or at least with someone that I met a few months ago or within the last year, we were hanging out and he was sharing about how he respects people who are virgins, that he would like to marry a virgin, and that if a man is a virgin, he is going to make fun of him and try to get him to sleep with women, but that he would still have respect for their choice. And I said that for myself, it depends on the mindset of the person and what makes them not choose to have sex. Because I feel like there's a difference between making the empowered choice, you know what, sex looks cool, I know things in my body feel good, and I'm gonna wait until I find someone that I would like to share this gift with, versus the Bible tells me I can't have sex until I'm married, so I'm not gonna fornicate and I'm not gonna have sex until I'm married because the Bible says so, and like that's my choice. Now, granted, in the latter case, I'm not saying all people who make the choice because the Bible tells them to or because their parents told them to, that I'm just like, oh, like, what are you doing? It's more from a standpoint of, if that is your choice and your will as an adult, and you really are like, you know what, I'm weighing the pros and the cons and that makes sense. I just feel like, for me, I prefer when I know someone is like thinking about their choices and really making the choice that's best for them and where they're at. Because like at one point I was going to be a virgin until marriage, and I wanted to wait and be pure and all of that. And then at some point I realized that if I don't know how to please myself, if I don't know how to interact with someone else's body, then I don't want to learn that in marriage. I don't want to get into a marriage trying to learn and discover all of these things about myself and this other person and having no frame of reference for, okay, like this feels good or this is weird, or you wouldn't know. And when it's your first time doing something, it's very complicated and confusing. So even when I was back in the day thinking, oh, wait until I'm married to have sex, I was like, I better marry a man who's a hoe at least, because one of us needs to know what we're doing. I ain't trying to be out here like both of us have never done it and it's just like, I might need to like Google this, like I that might be right. And granted, there's always self-exploration that can help with making that choice or understanding one's body and what feels good and what doesn't feel good. And when you have a partner, it helps with the exploration process, if you ask me. Because there are things that I learned about my body that I never would have considered if it weren't for the people that I engaged in or engaged with or whatever. And I know that I feel like one of the big challenges of sexual relations is that people will talk about you sometimes. I know that one of my roommates was like, you know, I heard so much gossip about you and you are nothing like what I was expecting. And for myself, I was just like, my sexual reputation doesn't mean my character. It doesn't mean how I present myself. They're not one and the same. And it's interesting how hearing that someone does a lot of stuff is able to shade our perception of them. And I like to keep gossip behind my back, because what other people think about me is none of my business. And if we live that way in everyday life, what other people think, how they respond, all of their choices have nothing to do with me, who I am, and what I'm creating in my life. And that's one of the big challenges that I'm facing right now, is that I've been taught to worry about other people, what they need, what they think, what they expect, just any of their opinions. I'm taught that my worth is dependent upon how other people perceive me and what they expect of me and how they enjoy me. And that is the worst way to judge myself, because it's the social mirror that's talked about in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, where one person thinks you're great, another person thinks you suck, this person thinks you're lazy, this person thinks you're the hardest worker they've ever seen. And the challenge is, in different contexts in our life, we show up in different ways. I know between my siblings, there was a discussion about how they lived together and then they ended up working together, and they're like, wow, we're going to be spending a lot of time with one another. And they realized that at work, they're both hard workers, they know what they do, they are on top of their things, and then at home they have different ways of expressing themselves. So they were able to see, like, I would love to work with you again, that was amazing, and maybe not live with you, like didn't work so hot, but they still love each other and have a great relationship. It's that ability to honor that we show up as different people in different areas of our lives, and that relationships and sex are pretty similar in that there are some people where if I'm with them, I'll ask for this or that, or be like, oh, I don't want it like this, or like I'll express my desires and I want change, and that's just how it is. And there are other people where I go with the flow. I'm like, you know it, I trust it, let's just whatever. I'm just here, it's fun, it's great. And that's how some of our relationships are. There are people that I'm way more confident sharing very vulnerable, personal, private things with than other people where it's like, let's just keep this surface level, because just no, I'm just not going to give you my truth because I don't feel comfortable sharing it with you. And I would love to be like, oh, I'm comfortable 24/7, which a lot of me is, but there are moments where it does not feel safe, and that's okay. I have to learn to honor my truth and my feelings, which has been hard for me because I've learned my feelings are bad, my feelings are wrong, and everything that I would like is evil and terrible, which for myself, I love sex. It's fun, and I feel like sex is the most profound, spiritual, amazing experience that I have in my life. It's one of the few times where, when done well, I am not thinking very much, and I am just present 100% in the moment. And I do have other times when I do that, but a lot of the times if I sit idly, I'm thinking 10 steps ahead. I was chilling, meditating today, and I'm thinking about, am I gonna cook pasta for lunch on Friday, or would I do McDonald's delivery again, or maybe I'll get Shake Shack this time? And it's just like, why am I thinking about Friday and it's Wednesday? There's just no point. And I'm learning to sink into the present moment and just be okay with however people perceive me. It doesn't matter. If people see me as a hoe, cool. If you think I'm a genius, cool. If you think I'm dumb, cool. If you think I'm lazy, cool. If you think I'm an underperformer, cool. Your thoughts are your thoughts. And if you're so worried about me, who's worried about you? And that's where I'm at for myself, is as I keep worrying about, are my managers happy? Are my coworkers liking me? Am I making a difference? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just pausing on that. Okay, who am I in this situation? Is that who I would like to be? Who would I really like to be? What would I like to do? What would I like to have? I've always had a desire to be a very self-centered person. And in these last few months, I'm seeing I need to be self-centered to keep myself balanced, focused, centered in myself, and just present to life in the moment. Because if I don't have this center and I'm not taking care of myself, my manager doesn't care about me to that level. Like, my manager can't meet my needs. If I had a partner, the partner couldn't meet my needs. I have family, my family can't meet my needs. Like, I'm the one who needs to know, what do I need? What would I like? What am I creating? What am I choosing? What's gonna make me feel nourished, loved, and safe in this moment? What's stopping me from feeling that? How would I like to respond to those things? Because at the end of the day, I cannot control the actions, reactions, responses of other people. I can only control myself. And the only way that I could get no response from other people is if I either shut up and don't say anything, or I say so little that it doesn't make a difference anyways, which I tend to do with sugarcoating and just being like, oh, yes, you are wonderfully not the worst person I've ever met in my life, but I can tell you have some difficulties and challenges that you're working through, and you're doing such a great job, kind of, not really making progress, but you're really working hard at it, and your effort shows so much, and, I'm glad we met. It's like, don't we have so much fun together? And it's just like, what? I don't really understand the point of it, but it sounded great, and it's just like, that's all that needs to happen. Pretty sure getting lipstick on my teeth. But I just feel like we judge people for their actions and what they do. We judge ourselves for the way people see us. And at the end of the day, those judgments are neither healthy nor productive. So if I decide to hoe around again or do whatever, sex work or something, that's my option. I'm a grown person and I understand the choice that I'm making. And whatever you'd like to do, whatever wild dream you have, I hope you follow it. So comment below, share your dreams if you're bold. If not, just tell me if you liked it, what you got out of it, Have a wonderful day. Please like, comment, share. See you next time.